How's it going, Sats Crew? Today I'm going to talk about something that just happened in the past week and a half, and that is Biden vetoing Congress's Bitcoin and digital asset custody bill. Now, as all of us are aware, the Biden administration has not been friendly towards crypto or Bitcoin whatsoever. And in fact, they've been so against it, they've been attacking Bitcoin, they've been attacking self-custody, they've been attacking just everything about it. And the thing that really gives me hope is Democrats that actually support Bitcoin, support self-custody, and support the right for this to be sensibly regulated. It seems like Biden is just ruling by enforcement rather than setting up sensible laws, sensible considerations, and then from there, kind of enforcing if people break that. So the bill actually received bipartisan support across the Senate and the U.S. Congress, right? So, um, you know, so it was one of those things that I noticed actually. Very little do you get that much bipartisan support for a asset or a bill that has to do with crypto, and I noticed this just kind of went right through without too much pushback. And it's one of those things too where we need more established standards, accounting standards for firms to custody Bitcoin. Right now, we don't have that. We don't have that. I know the Financial Action or Accounting Standards Board, they did something. I know that there are some moves that actually helped companies actually put it on their balance sheet. But generally speaking, it's not a really good look. If you want to start a Bitcoin-based business, or you want to start some type of digital asset business in the United States, this is not the place to do it. There's so much regulatory uncertainty. Now, a lot of us are confident about Trump winning in 2024, and while that's a very high probability, it's not a certainty. So we just kind of like keep muscling our way through until then, and then that's when we're going to be able to really shine as a community, but also as an asset. So I think what Biden is doing is he does not want to support measures that he believes will jeopardize the well-being of consumers. But the funny thing about this, and this is the same thing with Elizabeth Warren as well, but the funny thing about this is these are the actual people they're hurting the most. I was in an Uber the other day going to DraftKings, this kind of sports betting place, and it was so interesting, guys. The driver of the Uber, he said to me this. He said, Bitcoin has changed my life. Honestly, out of all the stuff, out of stocks and cash and everything, he says, Bitcoin has changed my life the most. And he said, I made 10 times more doing Bitcoin than I would have done doing any type of stock trading and all this. And he actually meant it. He believed it too. And I think like, this is just a random Uber driver, right? Never met him before. And he was saying this, right? I know there's millions of people, tens of millions out there that had the same experience as him. And I just feel like it's unfortunate that, and I could tell he was a little bit more liberal and democratic leaning, to be honest with you. But that's not bad. And the thing is this. I could tell he was Democrat leaning, and I can tell that he loved it. So imagine people like him at scale. Nobody is against Bitcoin. The only people that are against Bitcoin are those that are in bed with the banks or those that have perverse incentives towards traditional finance. So it's interesting. I did mention Democrats on board. Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, a lot of prominent Democrats right now. They're walking away from their party line. Their party line is saying, no, we will not support Bitcoin. We will not support digital assets. And they say, you know what? Sorry, guys, we're walking away because we understand our delegates and the people we represent. They're all for it. This would be political suicide for me if I went against this. If I was for this. So I need to go against this. So this is one of those things where people are towing against the party line because of this. And that's what you're supposed to do, right? If you are a legitimate senator or representative, at the end of the day, you need to speak for the people. You cannot just blindly do things because of special interest and PACs and stuff like that. So the SEC, they're always looking to gain more control. And I think the deep state that we currently have, they're trying to inch towards more dominance and control of the financial system. Because if you can control the financial system, you can control people's lives. Why is that? Well, if you can control the financial system, you can control what they buy. You can control the activities they can spend their money on. You can, maybe it'll look like you're free, but in reality, maybe you'll be having to pay higher prices for certain things, or maybe you'll have higher taxes, or there will be certain things notated about you so they can go after you down the road. Essentially, they have full control. They have a Panopticon view of everything that you're doing. Overall, I'll tell you this. Biden's term, all of us can see it. I mean, it's nearing completion. And this is without the voting against the Bitcoin bill that we recently just saw. The thing is, he can't be reelected because he can't even string two sentences together. He can't be reelected because he doesn't know where the staircase is. He can't be reelected because he is a puppet that's controlled by special interests. He can't be reelected because you can tell he doesn't have the life energy to defend this country and to speak up for times that matter. And right now, times matter. We're going through a period of stagflation. We're in several wars. We're seeing, the middle class shrink, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer, which is fine. I want people to make money on both sides. I'm a free market maximalist. But we need a system that works for more people. And right now, it's leaving a lot of people behind. So I think it's one of those things, too, where, we got to reach out to our representatives. We need to reach out. We got to give them calls. We got to make sure to write letters. We got to be sure to protest and speak up. At the end of the day, we're in a period right now where if Biden were to get reelected, I can see all Bitcoin and digital asset-based businesses just moving out of the country. I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen it with all these different wallets recently, but I'm telling you right now, it would not be a good place to live if you are in support of Bitcoin, privacy, and financial freedom, just financial freedom in general, because we will become a state of a CBDC and we will face financial repression. It's a sad thing to say. In the end, we got to self-custody our own Bitcoin and we got to vote. And we got to speak up to defend the right to self-custody, but we got to vote. And we got to tell others to vote because this is what matters, especially if you're in these swing states like Wisconsin. If you're in a swing state like Pennsylvania, Arizona. I'm from Arizona. Everyone needs to vote here. Even Colorado. Colorado, we can tip that state too. The point I'm trying to make is this. Biden, he does not love this country. And even if he does, he's so out of it, guys, he can't actually change the winds in the direction he wants. So if we want digital asset innovation, specifically Bitcoin innovation, to remain in the U.S., we need to vote for Trump and even Kennedy. But we cannot vote for Biden, and that'll be the end. That'll be the end of innovation in the United States of America for the next 4 years, and we'll be a laggard at that time. So be sure to vote, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry to get too political, but at the end of the day, we got to speak up, right? And we got to call things out, and I'm doing that now. I'm not going to beat around the bush and just be quiet, right? I have some listeners to this, and I know that at the end of the day, if you have even a few people listening, you got to tell them what you think, and then they can interpret it for their own. Anyways, be sure to comment, rate, like, subscribe, stream those stats, and I'll catch you in the next one.